Casman B 420s, Sedukes, excellent for tying buzzers. Nice light wire, so you get a long fish out of them before they sink too far. I'm using dark brown spider's web, which I find is by far the best thread for tying flies. It ties very flat, it's extremely strong and extremely fine, excellent for small flies. You might hear a bit of wind going through the trees there. 6" length of, in this case, orange tying silk. Loop it over the top of your tying thread. Don't tie the tag ends in, because if you tie the tag ends in, you have to cover them up. If you loop it on your thread, no tag ends to tie in, you end up with a far flatter body on the fly. Take it back up to where you would tie your biots in, or whatever you use for your wing buds. And then back down 3/4 of the way. Doesn't have to be perfect, because all this is going to be in the valleys of the ribbon, which will be full of gel or varnish, so you won't actually see the tying thread at all. And then I whip it halfway up that section and do that there, just to thicken the front end up. Good tip here, tie half inch. And then you can do what you want with that thread. It won't come undone, it won't unravel. You can put it over there out the way, wherever you want, while you're working the rest of the fly. That means you only have to concentrate on one action at a time. You're just concentrating on putting the rib on and not trying to keep the fly tying thread tight at the same time. Got that off a guy on the web called Oliver Edwards, good Yorkshireman. Fishes Yorkshire rivers, fishes Tanfield lakes, and he gives you some good tips. Right, that's about thick enough for that. We'll wind that up. Slightly increasing gap each time. Fish don't really care how neat this is. It's the colours they're looking for. And the rib. Right, couple of turns over that, 3 off, or however many you're happy with. another half inch, so you don't have to worry about that. That'll look after itself. It can't unravel now. You put that half inch on. You do whatever you want with your thread. We'll put some wing buds on. I'll use Biots. So if you're getting a thick section you buy, it's like these are, you're only timing by the tips, and you can use your big Biots if you're just timing by the tip ends, and then only using the first quarter of an inch of the Biot. You're throwing away the thick bit. Roll the thorax part up, or the head of the fly, or whatever you want to call it. Again, proportions don't matter a great deal. Fish are looking for colours and form. So as long as they see that rib on it, and the buzzer is about the colour the buzzer they're taking, or even if it isn't the same colour, they'll invariably take it if they think it's something like a natural. And you can generally tell by the way they take them. If it's unnatural, the buzzer, they'll snatch at it, and you get lots of pulls that you can't hit into. But if they're confident, you get a good draw on your line, and the fish will hook itself. It won't even realise that it's on the end of a line. It will just take your line away. At this point with the buzzer, it often pays to straighten your fly up, and that way your thread doesn't pull off the end of the eye. We'll finish off with a whip finish. Oops, oh, that's right. Some nice thin varnish or gel. Put a little touch at the front end just to be soaking in while I'm doing everything else. On the tail end, you don't want too much on here. If you put too much, you lose the ribbed effect on the fly. You just want to fill the valleys in. Just rub your needle up and down, fill the valleys in, rub it off the top of the rib. always put too little rather than too much varnish. You can always go back and put another coat on. You can't take it off once you've hardened it. Job done. Right, I'm going to see, I can't get my camera any closer than 6 inches and focus on this with this particular camera, so I'm going to go into the software now and see if I can blow this up to only show the fly and the head of the vise. I've been told it can be done. I'm now going to see if it can be done.